need you in my life. Why'd you do it? Wrecking everything in sight, breaking through it all. Burnt out the stars and the lights. You were clueless. Thought I was fighting a good fight, but I was losing. For a second I didn't care. I just saw you standing there with open arms and an open heart. Back from the finish and right to the start. You are my crux, a piece of the part. But now I'm broken and split, wishing that I could quit you. Hope you know there's nothing that I wouldn't do. I'm addicted, that is just the painful truth. The painful truth. I'm the type that gives all that I have to give. But what's the point if I don't know how I can live? I'm addicted, that is just the painful truth. The painful truth. Had me right under your spell. Was it worth it? Putting a good girl in hell. I was just waiting, dreaming, praying, scheming now. And it's too late for you to stop me now. Broken and split, wishing that I could quit you. Hope you know there's nothing that I wouldn't do. I'm addicted, that is just the painful truth. The painful truth. I'm the type that gives all that I have to give. But what's the point if I don't know how I can live? I'm addicted, that is just the painful truth. The painful truth, yeah. And it hurts when you can't control your love, as if it isn't already hard enough to keep on going when it's tough. But for now I'm broken and split, wishing that I could quit you. Hope you know there's nothing that I wouldn't do. I'm addicted, that is just the painful truth. The painful truth. I'm the type that gives all that I have to give. But what's the point if I don't know how I can live? I'm addicted, that is just the painful truth. The painful truth. The painful truth. Ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba-da-dum. I can sing and make my mind up. Who I like and who I'm tired of. I know he's on the other line, but I keep on talking to you. I know I never make decisions, and you hate the competition. You're insecure about my rhythm, but I keep on talking to you. 'Cause every time I see you again, I know that this is more than just friends. So baby, I'm giving you the green light. You tell me if you wanted to, we could do whatever you like. 'Cause I put you through the works and you still wanna stay. Show me what you want to take your foot off the brake. I'm giving you the green light. I never like the word commitment, but you should know that I'm a limit. Never thought, but please forgive it.
Alright. Here we are. I had to run a quick 30-minute, not 30-minute, Jesus, no, a 30-second ad to make sure that for the next 11 minutes, there's not going to be a pre-roll ad. Gotta love the Twitch ad system. Anyway, hey everyone. This is going to be a bit of a different stream. Different than we normally do things. Because normally I would just jump into Unreal and just show you guys what I'm working on. And we might still do that later today. But there's two things that are different. The first thing is that I am entirely in charge of washing all of the bedding in the house. Which is 3 beds, to be, but like 3 double-sized beds, right? So that means I've got a timer on my phone here. I'm going to hold it away from the microphone so it doesn't static, you know. I've got a timer here for 1 hour and 12 minutes. There you go. 1 hour and 12 minutes like that. Which is terrible quality. And when that timer hits, I need to run downstairs, switch everything around, make sure everything's dry, and, you know, and put the next batch on. So that's the first thing that's different. So we're going to try and speed run the washing. So so when that happens, I won't end the stream. Instead, we'll put it on the Be Right Back screen. I'll run a quick ad, which then no one has to watch, so excellent. And then after that, we're just going to continue right away. So it's going to be like 5 minutes break, and then we'll continue. The second thing that's going to be different, and probably the thing that if you've seen my post on Reddit, or if you've seen the alert coming into your inbox, we're going to do a bit of a mini class today. I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and kind of impulsively I decided to do it today. Because, as you might expect, I browse a lot of the game dev subreddits. Like a lot of them, like basically all of them. And there's just such a fundamental part that keeps going wrong, which is something I have a universal solution for. And I know that's a big claim, I know. And I invite you to be skeptical, and I invite everyone that's watching to just push questions into chat. We'll handle them right away. But we're going to talk about project and work prioritization. Because not only do I see people focusing on the wrong things, I see people prioritizing things completely the wrong way, depending on the phase of their project. I see people struggling to even understand what priority truly means. Because as many would say, priority should indicate how soon something should be done. But that's not true, or at least doesn't have to be. Priority can mean a lot of different things depending on the context in which you're operating. So without already, like, you know, pre-starting the class now, I'm going to wait, I don't know, a minute, 2 more minutes maybe, for anyone else that wants to drop in before we get started with the actual class. Yeah, it'll be a little mini class. I've never done this stuff before, or at least not in this format. I'm looking forward to it. Because I really truly think that all of the knowledge that I have and all of the knowledge that I apply during my work on a daily basis in game development and in AAA game development, which allows me to have the success that I'm seeing, is something that I want you guys to have as well. And unlike some other YouTubers, content creators, I won't be charging you 1,000 euros for a course. I promise. If I were to ever charge money for like educational content, it would be in the form of an education. Not that I'm thinking of starting my own school or anything. That is, at least for now, ridiculous. Definitely not. But I definitely won't charge you ever for educational content. So, yeah. I've seen a case where everything is high priority. Basically, nothing was priority. Yeah, exactly. And the problem, which is something we'll talk about in a second as well, the main problem there is that, like you said, because everything is high priority, nothing really matters. If we're all special, no one is special, right? It's basically a self-invalidating statement by saying, well, everything needs to get done. Well, I mean, that's not true. That's just not true. I refuse to believe it. There is so many projects I've seen where I will come in and then someone will say, oh, look, this is the entire list of what we need to get done. And then I'll look through it and I'm like, probably a third of this, maybe even less, maybe 20% of this we actually need to get done. The rest of it is, in many different ways, of lower priority. Okay, anyway, I am excited. I know you can't see it on my face. That's just because I'm a little nervous. It's the first time I've done it in this format, and I want it to be really good. So what we'll do, in nature of this class and in nature of game development being iterative, if anyone has feedback before, during, or after the mini class, just let me know in chat and then we'll talk about it, okay? Alright. Okay. Do the things I need to do. First thing is do this, which shows you guys my screen, which shows a whiteboard, right? Which is excellent, which is, it's a free whiteboard and it's powered by Miro. I don't use Miro all that often myself, but this is perfectly fine for what I'm trying to do today. And I need to change the... I need to turn on the music slightly for myself. And I need to change the current activity into mini class. How to prioritize your work throughout all stages of development. Is way too long. That's never gonna fit. What if I cut it off here? It's fine. It's fine. It's good enough. It's good enough. That's something we'll talk about as well, where stuff is good enough. Alright. Okay. So, let's establish a few things here. Let's first establish the stages in which we go through our project. These are a little bit generalized to keep it simple and to keep it to the point, because there is obviously many different types of stages and lots of people can have different interpretations. So let's get in one line on the context of what each stage means, right? So we'll start with the first stage, which is concepting. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. So that's stage one. That's phase one. Phase one is concepting. Okay, that's where we start this this journey. Then phase two is prototyping. There we go. Then phase three is production. And then I'm gonna make a slight call out here towards phase four, which is polish, like that. And then ultimately the last phase, but we might not talk about this one today, phase 5, is post-release. Okay. Alright, so we have these stages, like so. Okay, there we go. So when we go through all of these stages, there's a few things we have to understand. During phase 1, the concepting phase, we are not doing anything in engine yet. We are simply just on a piece of paper, we're saying, okay, what is it we want to make, right? And there's a few questions that come in handy here, a few steps you need to do. First off, I'm realizing this mini class on prioritization might explode into a mega class on everything, but we're going to try and keep it to the point. So the main thing we do here is we work on paper to determine what we want. There we go. Like that, and let's reduce this in size a little bit. There we go. So you're summing up goal for each phase now. Yes, yeah. So we'll do some quick summaries for each of the phases, just to make sure that we're all on the same line and we all understand what each phase means, or at least in this context, right? Because if we don't set the if we don't set the context right, then people are going to end up confused and going to take away the wrong thing. So for prototyping, we're diving into engine and working out our core loop. There we go. Then for production, we have validated the core loop and are building out the content, if you will, like so. Then for phase 4, we identify the areas of improvement and work on this in order. Plus bug fixing. That is an inherent part of the polish phase. And then ultimately post-release is based on user feedback, determine next steps. Something like that. The last phase is most undefined because we never really know what it looks like. It really depends on how successful the game is, if it even is successful. You know, depends on a whole lot of things. So we're going to keep that one a little bit vague. Now, no matter which phase you're in, you are doing priority wrong. Because like I said earlier, if we look at priority in the current context that I see over and over and over again, priority equals how soon something should be done. There we go. But this is wrong. And I'm gonna grab a little shape here. Oh, there's not a lot of shapes. Not enough shapes there. Okay, well, then we'll grab the pen. We'll make it red. This is wrong. This is not true. Instead, what is true is that priority equals the highest value items from a product perspective. This is priority. Now, the thing is, and this is where we're going to get a little more nitty-gritty, the highest value items are automatically that's actually not true. The highest value items can also be the things that need to be done the soonest, however, not exclusively. So you could have a super high value item, but you're going to pick it up months down the line, or weeks down the line, or whatever your timeline is. And that's okay, right? So keep that in mind. So just because something is high value doesn't mean that you have to pick it up right now, right? That's the first thing I want to get straight. Because if you work with a top example of priority, how soon something should be done, you will always be chasing the wrong things. That is just simply the truth. So then the question becomes, okay, if priority equals the highest value items from a product perspective, then how do we determine value? And that's a good question. What is value? And let's put this a little bit off to the side. And let's grab a little frame here. That's a post-it. Let's grab a little frame here. That's not a frame. Can I grab a frame? Hang on. Let's just grab a shape. There we go, like that. And then we'll make this a nice little gray background, kind of like that. And then we'll put this towards the back. Center back. There we go. So what is value? And we'll do the same thing here. Which will actually make nice and red. Because this is an important part. Because if you don't do this part right, then the rest of it doesn't matter. Oops. There we go. Center back. Okay. Let's do a little thought experiment. It's not even a thought experiment, it's just a little experiment. Let's say value is determined or categorized into 3 separate categories. You have essentials, you have performance, and I'm coincidentally forgetting the name for the last one, but it's something along the lines of in the context of games, we'll just call it juice. Well, actually, we'll call it luxury. We'll call it luxury for now. So these are the 3 categories in which we identify value. To take this away from a game dev context for a moment, just to make it really clear on what this means. If you were to walk into a hotel room, and in that hotel room, you walk into the bathroom, and you look around, and you look towards the toilet, and there is no toilet paper. There's no toilet paper. How would you feel? I'm asking you guys in chat. How would you feel if you walked into a hotel room and you go into the bathroom and there's no toilet paper whatsoever? How would you feel? I'm just waiting for a response there. Just to give you guys a chance. Oh no, what have I done? Yeah, that'd be a pretty bad omission. Agreed. Agreed. If there is no toilet paper, how do you feel? Pretty bad, right? And not even pretty bad. You'd probably immediately want to complain and kind of be like, okay, how the hell is there no toilet paper? Right? Like, that is strange. Like, what are they expecting of me here? Now, same example, right? You walk into that same hotel room, and you walk into the bathroom, and there is 300 toilet rolls. Right? Rolls of toilet paper. 300. Just stacked from floor to ceiling. How would you feel? How would you guys feel if you walked into the hotel room and there is 300 rolls of toilet paper stacked up in the bathroom? How do you feel? Because I know how I would feel. Probably amused. Yeah. Well, so I think you would be pretty amused because you'd be like, "Whoa, has someone told them something about me? Is this some kind of prank? Like, what's going on?" But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, there's 300 rolls of toilet paper. Okay, I only need like 1, maybe 2 if I had some really bad dinner, but you know, you'd feel pretty indifferent. Let me just do indifferent. There we go. It would be a problem. How would it be a problem? I'd love to know. Let's extend this frame a little bit. There we go. Might need a little bit more space. But the point obviously I'm trying to make here is that with the essential pieces of value, if you don't have it, it's a big problem, right? It's a huge problem. But if you have like tons and tons and tons of it, at some point it loses its value. Like, it loses all value. I probably prevent normal use facilities by being away. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. So let me just write that down again. If you have none of this, it is a huge problem. But adding more doesn't infinitely increase value. So if that is essentials, what about performance and luxury? Because obviously you guys can see where I'm going here with this. Here we go. Now again, you walk into a hotel room. Hotel room is such a great context for this, because everyone kind of knows what a hotel room looks like, so it's a great context. It's not my context, it's definitely a context I've read about, so that's why it's so great. Now, if you were to walk into a hotel room, and you have toilet paper this time, so great, and it's not like a huge amount, it's just a normal amount of toilet paper. Great, lovely. But you walk into the hotel room, and the bed is slightly too small. There is an old CRT TV standing on a table, and the windows are slightly dirty. How would you feel? How would you feel? And for those that don't know what a CRT TV looks like, CRT TV, that is oh no, hang on, that's Etsy. I don't want to go to Etsy. It's showing a picture. That is this kind of stuff. This is a CRT TV. Also, if you don't know what a CRT TV looks like, welcome. You were much younger than me. Yeah, great stuff. And to be fair, I think this was very much the end of CRT TVs when I was born, so this is even older. But yeah, these are CRT TVs, so it's definitely nothing fancy. But how would you guys feel? Because I know how I would feel. I would be like, alright, I mean, this sucks, but I'm not gonna be in my hotel room all day, right? That's just a fact. I don't go to a hotel to stay in the hotel. It's just not true, right? So this would suck, and it would be uncomfortable. But, you know, alright. That's what it is. Now, same thing, right? Same thing. However, this time you walk into the hotel room, there's a nice, like, I don't know, 60-inch 4K TV. The bed is slightly bigger than it needs to be. And everything is nice and clean. Nice and clean. How would you feel now? How would you feel? If the hotel was cheap, it might be acceptable. Exactly. We're not ready to instantly make a complaint about this because ultimately it kind of sucks. But again, I only need to sleep here and that's it. So the bed is probably the most annoying thing, or the most frustrating thing. But even then, you know, if I curl up a little bit, then I would survive. It'd be okay. Like, without toilet paper, I'm not surviving, right? But slightly too short of a bed, okay, I can kind of do that. Now, if there's all these nice things, if it's a nice 4K 60-inch TV, and the bed is slightly bigger than it needs to be, and everything's nice and clean, I'd feel great, right? I would walk in, I'd be like, oh, this is nice. This is really nice, right? This is really nice. And what I'm trying to say here is that with performance features, or performance value features, if you have few of this, it sucks, but it is not the end of the world. If you have lots of this, the experience only gets better. Right? That's kind of the thing. Hey, Loggerhead. Sometimes the difference between a nice-looking hotel room and a bad one is the lighting. It's hard to make a room with no windows feel luxurious. Exactly. Exactly. So if your hotel windows or your hotel room windows are slightly smudged and are slightly dirty, it's going to automatically kind of like detract from that experience. Like, it's not something you might make a small complaint about it, or you might mention it during checkout or something like that. But you know, you could survive, right? And like you said, equally, if those windows are clean and there's lots of nice natural light coming in, then you'd feel really nice because you're like, oh, it's really fresh looking, right? So the fewer performance features you have, or the more you have, it'll just keep increasing value, right? Which brings us to the last category. Here we go. Which brings us to the last category. Again, we're in that same hotel room. We're going all over the place. We're going everywhere. Here we go. So, now, last example. I promise I'll stop talking about hotel rooms afterwards. You walk into the hotel room, and let me write this out. You get greeted by the soft smell of lavender. Lavender? I need to not say it in Dutch. The soft smell of lavender. You look onto the bed, and there are towel swans folded. I'll show a picture in a second. There are bonbons, bonbon chocolates on the counter, etc. How would you feel? How would you guys feel if you saw this when you walked in? Hang on, who's got a message? I will do it when the timer ends. Alright. So how would you guys feel if this was the case? Right, and again, I'll quickly show you guys what I mean. Folded towel swans. I can get a picture of this. Basically, let me get a nice little picture. Here we go. This is what I mean. It's a bit of a small picture, but it's fine. Like, if you walked in and this was folded like this on your bed, you'd feel incredible. Right? Yeah, Jago, you would feel it'd be nice and welcoming. Shows effort. Exactly. Exactly. You'd feel super special. You'd essentially say, oh, wow. You know, how did I, like, where am I? Did I accidentally get the wrong room? Did I, you know, this is really nice. This is really amazing. Like, you'd never complain about it. You never go like, God damn, these towel swans. Ah, like no one would ever say that. Even though if they might be slightly impractical, you know, it's everyone's like, well, holy shit, this is amazing. You would feel amazing. Now, just for comparison, if you walked into the same hotel room and there was no bonbon chocolates, there's no soft smell lavender, and there are no towel swans folded, how would you feel? Now, I know the answer. You wouldn't really feel anything because you weren't expecting it. Like, at all. Like, you didn't come to the hotel room, or at least I'm presuming you guys don't order, really expensive hotel rooms. When you book just a normal hotel room, you don't walk in there and go and expect towel swans and bonbon chocolates and all that kind of fancy stuff. So you'd feel indifferent, right? If none of this is here, makes no difference. If none of the above was here, it would make no difference. Because you weren't expecting it in the first place, right? So if we know that that's the case, we can make a small little graph. Actually, am I gonna? Yeah, I'll pop it down here. Right, we're gonna do a bit of drawing. Let me grab a little thingy. Right. Can I? There we go. Let's actually do it with. Yep. We can make a slight little graph. There we go. There we go. All right. The x-axis is number of features. And the y-axis is perceived value. Well, product value. Total product value. Total product value. I want to write it the right way. Now, if we just assign some colors real quick. Let me also just add a little description here. If you have none of this, no one would know. But the more of this you have, the better the experience gets. All right. So, if we put this, if we put this into our little graph down there, I'll assign a little color to each one of them. So let's see. Yellow is the essentials. There we go. Then, let's see. Green is performance. And we'll make dark purple luxury. Okay? When we start with essentials, so features essentially that if you have none of it, it's a really bad experience. And actually, I want to change the experience. If you have none of it, it's really bad. Like this. But ultimately, it'll flatten out, because the more of it you have, the experience won't necessarily get much better. Right? That is an assumption we can make. Now, when it comes to performance features, which was green, I believe. When it comes to performance features, the more of this we have, the more it'll improve the experience. Basically, infinitely. Right? And then ultimately, if we don't have any luxury features, that's okay, because no one will know. But as soon as we start adding them, the experience skyrockets. Right? That is how this works. So if you have none of them, and I'm just have to imagine that this is basically 0. If you have none of them, no one is any the wiser. Yet if you have even just one, your experience goes into the sky, right? People are going to love it. So, to bring this back around, because obviously this is a lot of information, when it comes to value, we first have to categorize our features into what we believe or where we believe they think would fit. What kind of features are they, right? For example, if we talk about smooth movement, for example, it's a little vague, but it'll serve the purpose. If we talk about smooth movement controls, that is an essential feature. Well, actually no. Haha. I'll correct myself. It's actually a performance feature. Smooth movement controls. Just movement controls. That is essential. Because without it, you're going to have a really terrible time. You're going to be like, what is this shit? Right? Now, if they're smooth, that's nice. Because the smoother they are, the more it'll increase the experience. Right? The value of the experience. So like that, we can start dividing up our features into what they are, right? Essential, performance, or luxury. But this is not the only thing that determines value. Well, no, I should say that differently. Why is value so important? And to explain that, we need to take a look at something else, right? So remember this for a moment. What we want to understand, where we are at the moment. This one, color, I don't know, yellow or something. Yeah, it's a very ugly yellow. That's still not great, but it's fine. We have to go to a different website, which is a great website. I'd recommend this to everyone. It's called agilemanifesto.org. Alright, it's a really shit website, but this was made in 2001. And it is all of these lovely people who are individually responsible for many different forms of project management and software development methodologies. They basically came together and they said, okay, if we really want to always be focusing on delivering projects on time, within budget, and with the best possible experience, we need to agree together what is more important, right? And they basically created 4 values here. And I'm just going to copy this over into here, just so we can kind of like order them. So if I just do this one, there we go. And then this one. Oh no. Oh, bollocks. Hold on. There we go. I need to copy them outside of the actual window. We're just going to put these into their own separate little text boxes. There we go. And we're going to put these all below each other. Like that. And then we're just going to slightly shrink them. Like that. And like that. Like that. And like that. Alright. Oh shit, hang on. There we go. Yeah, okay, so basically I'm going to do this for every single one of them. Here we go. Alright, and let's quickly resize these again to make sure that this is clear. Okay. And just to make sure that you guys don't see one of them below the other, I'm just going to put them in the 4 corners here. The 4 values that they came up with is basically individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation. You have to imagine this is in a more professional setting, so obviously as an indie developer you won't do a whole lot of contract negotiation, if any. But in a professional setting this is important, of course. Working software over comprehensive documentation, and responding to change over following a plan. If we follow these 4 values throughout our project, their theory is that everything will be okay and you'll end up with the best possible outcome, which is true. This is 100% true. This has been proven over and over and over and over and over again by the thousands of companies that, well, maybe not thousands, hundreds of companies that get this right worldwide every single year. There's also a lot of companies that get this wrong. which is how you end up with launches like Cyberpunk. Just to name one out of the many. So when we look at value, these 4 principles determine value, right? So if we copy this over again from here, and we just create a couple of nice little lines. Nah, I just want to do that. There we go. There we go. All of these things. I hate how it's not the same now. All of these things create value or determine what value is. So to give a little example with some of these, working software over comprehensive documentation is one of the values that I see often going wrong when I hear, hey, Chad and Amin, thanks for follow, really appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a great time. If you have any questions, put them in chat. So working software, this is something that I see going wrong with any post that talks, and this could be a recruitment post, or this could be just a general update post or whatever, or even devlogs. People making 6 million page GDD documents, game design documents. You are not focusing on what is important here. Your focus should at all times be working software. Or a working game, to put it in our context. No matter if you're a game designer, a game artist, a programmer, a producer, doesn't matter what you are, your focus needs to be working software. Because without that working software, you have nothing. Like, you can have all the documents in the world, but that means nothing if the software doesn't work, or the game doesn't work, right? Now, this doesn't mean that comprehensive documentation isn't important. It is. It very much is. But when it's working software or comprehensive documentation, working software will win, right? It will end up here where the other one's down here, okay? Additionally, this is a good one. Responding to change over following a plan. Who's ever, and I'd love to know for people that are in chat, who has ever made a plan? Let me grab a little thing here. Is it in this one? Nope, that's therapy notes. It's not in this one. Anyway, who has ever made themselves a plan? Like, for example, one of these little nice product roadmaps or customer touch points, or, you know, or a flowchart or whatever. Who's ever done that? And then, as soon as something changed, the first thing they did was update their plan. Who's done that? I know I'm guilty of that. I know that I did that. Like, hundreds of times I've done that. I am 1,000,000% guilty here. Right. Because this feels natural, right? And we'll not dive too much into human psychology about this, but we like plans because they provide certainty. They don't, but we think they do, and so that's why they're nice, and that's why we like to keep them up to date. That's just a very short overview there. But instead, what we should be doing, our priority, when a change comes in that completely diverts from the plan we had, we need to focus on that change. We need to validate that the change is necessary, and if it is, we need to implement it ASAP. That's basically it. We need to respond to change as soon as we can. Because when we put a demo out, for example, and a player comes back to us and says, well, actually, I was having a lot of difficulty with X and Y, the goal for us is not to go like, okay, you're having difficulty with this, okay, I might be able to solve it like this, so I'm going to plan this in, I don't know, 3 weeks down the line. That's not the goal. The goal is to say, okay, I could solve it like this, let's get to work. Let's respond to that change. Or even better example, you're this close, well, you're a few weeks out from releasing your game. And one morning you open up Steam, and someone has just released a game that looks eerily similar to yours. Right? You'd almost want to claim that they copied everything, but that's not possible because you were very careful and you've hidden everything, and great job. That's a different problem, but we'll talk about that later. And so you're like, shit. well, guess I'll have to update my plan and do something else. Or most people just scrap their project, which is terrible advice as well. But most people will just try to update their plan and go ahead with something else. They'll be like, ah, shit, I gotta change all these things now, and I gotta make a whole new plan for it. But no. Instead, you should respond to that change by saying, okay, this thing happened. How does this affect me? How does it affect my project? And based on the conclusion there, you need to action on that change. Forget the plan for now. Forget the plan for now. And respond to the change you're seeing. Don't wait. Always validate, but don't wait. I like Lego planning for person. Actually, I haven't heard of Lego planning. I'd love to learn more about that. We'll look into that in a second as well. Or feel free to just share what it is. I'd love to learn. So that's another great example. Then do I want to do the other two? I think they're relatively self-explanatory. Customer collaboration is basically, in this context, listen to the feedback of your players. Very important. If your design document says this feature should work X and Y way, but your customers, your players, are saying, I'm actually having a lot of fun with this and this, work with that. Work with them, right? Understand where they're coming from, and work with them rather than trying to strictly stick to the design document that you made months ago. And then individuals and interactions over process and tools. This is for when you're working in teams. Process and tools can be important, but they are ways to achieve certain goals and things like that, but they won't cause progress. The individuals in your team and the interactions you have with them will, right? So again, process and tools is not completely not important. It is, right, to a certain degree, but when it's individuals' interactions versus process and tools, individuals' interactions will always be more important. Because again, that is what creates value. So, if we know this now, and we understand the 4 principles behind what creates value, or what is value, there is, we need to basically combine that, hang on, we need to basically, here we go, combine this knowledge with the knowledge we have here of types of value. Let me rewrite it. There we go. Just using different size blocks to represent time periods help people know how to overload to others. Okay, interesting. It's good to learn. Basically, like t-shirt sizing, and or there's even, I think I even learned about a system which was about dog breeds, and it was a relative estimation system where like a corgi was a small amount of effort, and like a Rottweiler was like a big amount of effort. Interesting stuff. But it's basically all a form of relative prioritization. Okay. So, now that we know these two things, how do we prioritize our pieces of value? Right? If you want to send a link, sorry, let me just turn it off. Sorry, hang on. Let me just turn it off for you. Where do I do this? Mod tools. Okay, I've turned link protection off for now. Let's hope that there's no bots and stuff that are going to abuse that. If you want to send the link again, then I can take another look at it. So with this knowledge about value, we need to now figure out, okay, how do we prioritize? Because that is obviously why you're here. And then once we figure out how we prioritize, or the different ways in which we can prioritize, we'll go through the different phases that we determined earlier, and we'll see how we can apply that to each phase. All right, nice cup of tea. It is 21 degrees outside, end of October. It's insane. All right, so let's go off to the right here, and let's make it ginormous. Well, actually, it's not that ginormous. It's kind of like this. Let's give these, I don't know. Let's just give this green, and the next one will be darker green, and then the next one will be pink, And then the next one will be blue. And we might need one more. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many systems I'm going to discuss here, but it's fine. Okay. So, initially, priority system 1. High, medium, low. When we look at the typical way of prioritization, I also see the music has stopped. Hang on. Actually, let's do soundtrack hits instead. There we go. When we look at the typical priority system, which is high, medium, low, we have no context for what high, medium, and low means. Like I said earlier, when we work with high, medium, low, let's put this down here. When we work with high, medium, low, there we go. Example. We are focusing on how soon something should be done. But that's not necessarily what we're going to be focusing on. So instead, let me just do that. There we go. And then we can grab this and put it here. Make it a little larger. I say priority system 1. Moscow method. This is the first one. And this is another way to prioritize your work. You can also just do it through the Essentials, Performance, and Luxury system, right? They have I think this is called the Kano system. I should add that somewhere. Kano system. There we go. You can just use this, but it might be a little too arbitrary because you're not entirely sure. Okay, how many essential features is too many essential features, and you know, etc., etc. So makes it a little hard. So when we use, for example, the Moscow method, and I should capitalize this appropriately. It exists out of a few different things. Must have. Should have. Could have. Whoops. And would like to have. There we go. This is the Moscow method. And it's not a bad method. It's a little basic, but it's not a bad method. There we go. That's roughly the same. This is not necessarily a bad method. And you can combine this with the Kano model. Because, except for essentials, you can have performance feature, even luxury features that you believe are must-haves because they would significantly increase the value of your game, but are still luxury features, right? Must-haves aren't just essentials, right? These things work in conjunction with each other. They don't work separately. Well, they do work separately, but they don't have to, right? You can combine these things. Looks terms of kind of model are basic performance. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. That is true. Basics, performance, and excitement. You are right. Excitement. Thank you very much. So these two systems can work together because ultimately we know that to get the best kind of product, we would ideally, can I make a circle somewhere? We would ideally be roughly, well, depending on our phase, probably for like concepting, or well, not even for prototyping, we probably want to be somewhere here, yet for full production, at the end of full production, we probably want to be probably like up here. And then for proper, for like polish and release, we definitely want to be like up here somewhere, right? So we can kind of like map it along that way. Yes. Okay. So with that in mind, we can combine some of these things. Because we can have a excitement feature that is all the way up here, all the way at the end, that we really only need at the end, but could be a must-have because it so significantly increases the value. So combining these two priority systems, you can already start to create a more curated list of what is truly important, what is adding the most value to your game. So first step, divide your features into basics, performance, and excitement based on the hotel room context and example. Then the next step could be to use the Moscow method for prioritization and determine, okay, what are must-haves, what are should-haves, what are could-haves, and what are I would like to haves. That is a way to do it. I realize I don't have much text here that actually goes here for explanation. This is just what it is. So we'll leave it at that. We'll keep it simple. Then the next thing, the next little helping tool to determine priority 2, how easy is it to do? If we, and I'll have a nice little piece of context here. Nope. We'll grab this one. Actually, we'll make this a little smaller, like this. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Yes, okay, alright, I have it, okay. You guys are gonna help me move. You're gonna help me move out of this room into the next room. Not even the next room, no, we're gonna move everything from this room into my next house, okay? That's what we're gonna do. So, we are moving all my stuff into the next house. Okay? That's what you guys have involuntarily volunteered to help me move my stuff. So let's see, what's in the room? Alright, so there's a desk, right? There's a desk. A large standing desk. That's the context. What else is here? We have PC plus screens, right? That's here. That's what I'm using to talk to you guys. We have, let's see, we have a huge wardrobe. Huge wardrobe. With lots of clothes, right? That's what we have. We have a double-sized bed. Double bed. There we go. Then we have 2 nightstands. There we go. There's true. We have a stand with lots of books, which is over there. We have 2 lamps, and we have one more thing just to keep it simple. We have my guitar. A guitar. Okie dokie. Now, if I were to ask you guys to rank this stuff from easy to move to hard, to hard. So somewhere in between this. Come on. There we go. Where would stuff go? Where would stuff go? I'm asking everyone in chat. I wish I could make this like interactable for you guys. Actually, I might be able to. Yeah, I can share this. All right, this will be interesting. If anyone messes around and like starts adding dumb shit, I'll kick you. You guys can access the whiteboard through that link. And you guys can move where you think stuff should go. We're making this an interactive stream. Yeah, excellent. Very good. I totally forgot we could do this. Alright, visiting artisan. Where is stuff gonna go? Just put stuff anywhere. Where is it gonna go? Right, large standing desk. Okay. Okay. Let me turn this around because I think... Oop. God. Nope. Stop it, arrow. There we go. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. I don't think this is... I don't think I disagree with this necessarily. So just to kind of like put it in order. Kind of like that. Kind of like that. Do we agree with this way of prioritization? Does everyone agree with that? Visiting Artisan, do you agree with that? Have I put everything in the right order now? If I only have one order to... There's only like one row. So one thing is automatically harder than the other. Do you agree with this? Yeah. Alright, Jago thinks you did a great job, Artisan, so that is excellent. This is a really good way for prioritization, right? Not as a standalone way, because again, this doesn't tell me very much about what is the most value, right? But it does tell me about what's most easy. Because ultimately, if I'm going to move to my next house, my guitar is probably the last thing I would move. It is the easiest, but it's probably the last thing I'd move, because I can definitely survive without it. You could even say, haha, here we go, we're connecting dots now. I can't believe I decided to do this on an impulse. We could say that the guitar is a luxury feature. We could say that the lamps are probably, for me, probably a basic. Right? Sorry, it's not luxury, it's exciter. It's an excitement feature. The nightstands... probably performance. PC plus screens, pretty essential for me, right? Then there's a stand with lots of books. Exciter. I don't need them right now. This is definitely an exciter. There we go. My bed, definitely an essential. Huge wardrobe with lots of clothes, definitely an essential. Large standing desk, yeah, it's probably an essential, right? It gets close to performance, but it's not quite there. So again, here we can see, and this is where we start to connect dots. When we look at the very simple, easy to hard prioritization scale, we can see that some really easy things could add a lot of value, right? But that doesn't mean that that is where necessarily my priority lies. Because if we now take the information we have here, and I'll do this for you guys. See, I knew I needed space. Haha. My brain was telling me that we needed space. There we go. Put it like a little bit like this. If I now fill in this information into the Moscow method, right? So let's see, guitar. I'd like to have it, but if it's not there, all good. It's not. Can we color it? We can. Let's do color it instead. 2 lamps. We probably should have that, but I could survive without it. It's still an essential thing I'd like to have, but, you know, I should have it, but if I don't have it, it's okay. 2 nightstands. Could have. Alright. Oh, that blends terribly with the background. I'll just make blue the performance features for now. PC plus screens is a must-have. I need this. If I don't have this, then I'm screwed. I can't do work. A stand with lots of books. Would like to have it, but, you know, it can come tomorrow. Not a worry. Double bed. I'm gonna need this to sleep in, right? If I don't sleep properly like I did last night, then you get streams like this, where I impulsively decide to tackle hugely complex topics. A huge wardrobe full of clothes. I definitely need to have that. And then a large standing desk. There we go. So we filled this in. We filled moving my stuff over to a new house into the Moscow method. And again, So sleep deprivation equals good, exactly. That's exactly the point. And again, we see a different picture of where the priorities lie, right? Because the context keeps changing, right? When we follow exclusively the Kano model, you probably say, okay, for this move, if we want to make this the best experience possible, we probably need the double bed, the PC plus screens, 2 lamps, and the guitar. Great experience, right? Because he has the absolute basic stuff that he needs, the essentials, right? He can walk 2 days with like dirty clothing. It's fine. He doesn't necessarily need the desk. He can work on the floor, right? Or he work on his kitchen counter or whatever, right? Yet, if he's gonna walk into his new home and at the end of the day stuff is moved and he has PC plus screens, a double bed, he has the 2 lamps, and he has his guitar, he can relax because he can play a bit of guitar, right? Not very well, but he can play a bit of guitar, so he can relax. It's a good experience. I'll be like, oh my god, my guitar, yes. Thank God someone took the time to bring this in. But if we look at the Moscow method, on what is absolutely necessary for me to survive, we look at a different kind of perspective. So I say that the plan needs to be viewed from several perspectives to have a good vibe plan. Exactly. That's exactly the point we're going to. Yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head here, Jabu. What you want is to not use one system. That is the key here. You need to use multiple systems to understand exactly what all of your features are in terms of value, what you think is absolutely essential in terms of the Kano system, right, in terms of how much it adds to the experience, but also what you think you should have from like a Moscow method type system, right? And I must say that the Kano system and Moscow method system, they align relatively well. But if we look at, okay, what's easiest to do, from this we could actually say, okay, the priorities here, well, if we put this in a system of priority, first to last, oops, hang on, last, oh, I'm not allowed to do that, I'm not allowed to copy paste it like that, no. Okay, it's fine. We won't have to line. Or even better, we'll make our own line. There we go. So if you get a normal feature, you get 2 lamps to your room. yeah. So if we put this in the system of, okay, what comes first then? Well, we could say, all right, well, keeping in mind that the double bed is definitely an essential feature, it should be one of the hard things we should do, right? So let's get that in. Let's get that in. I can move this along. Excellent. Then, seen as what is really easy and will add a ton of value, is these 3. These 3 are super easy, right? They're super easy to do, and they add a ton of value. So let's get these in. Then, as for the last stuff, well, all right. Well, we're gonna need this PC, and then the rest of it will come after, right? Again, we get a different result, right? If we look at it from this perspective, we get a nicely balanced, well, not even nicely balanced. We get a nicely valued experience for what we're doing, right? What is important? What brings value? That is these things combined. Right? Some of them are a bit harder than others, and that's okay. But based on keeping in mind how easy stuff is to do, keeping in mind how essential performance or excitement type features they are, we can again combine 2 systems to create a new view on what the priority should be. And just like this, there are a lot of different systems. I think there's one more system I'd like to handle. I'm just checking the timer. The washing machine timer, which is 8 minutes. Will I have time in 8 minutes to explain this? No, probably not. Okay. So with this in mind, and I'm just going to delete these two. With this in mind, I'm just going to put... bollocks, hold on. Let's grab all of this. Let's just put this in here. There we go. I love Miro. It's a great tool. With all of this knowledge in mind, one might say, okay, so I figured out the priority of my feature. I figured out whether my features are basics, performance, and excitement. I figured out how easy things are to do, right? And I've attached that information to each of the tasks. And I figured out what I think we must have, what I think we should have, what I think we could have, what I think we would like to have, etc., etc. With all of this in mind, there is one part that we're kind of missing. And this has a lot to do with priority. Well, there's two parts we're missing. One of it has to absolutely do with priority, and the other is a bit more of an extension on priority, which is more surrounding estimation. And I think I'm going to leave that part behind for now, because estimation is its whole own beast, and I don't want to spend a whole another hour talking about that when the focus for today is just priority. So what we'll do is set up a new scenario. Yeah, a new context. Okay, here's what we do. No, wrong button. Come on, Chris. Here's what we do. Here's what we're gonna do, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. We are starting our own pizza delivery service. That's what we're doing. Screw games. I don't like games anymore. We're starting our own pizza delivery service. To do this, we basically have three chances, right? We have our first iteration. We have our second iteration. And we have our third iteration. And this is again where one of the values that we talked about earlier, which is responding to change, comes in really helpful. Can I make it a line? Not really. Oh shit, hang on. Nope, not what I want to do. Okay, alright, well, I do apologize for the shoddy line, but that's roughly it. That's roughly it. That's roughly it. It's good enough. It's with a mouse, it's good enough. We've got 3 iterations. Now, what do we need to start delivering pizzas? What are we gonna need? Let's add a couple of post-its. We're gonna need probably I don't know, a website. Oops, shit. A phone number. We're gonna need a pizza recipe. Well, hang on, sorry. We're gonna need an order list, probably, right? We want people to pick one of the pizzas that we're offering. We want a payment method. What else? We need delivery cyclists. We're gonna need what else? What else are we gonna need in order to allow people, right? That's the context, to allow people to go onto a website. I'll remove phone number in a second. To go onto a website and order a pizza and get it delivered to them, right? Let's add that as context. People need to be able to order a pizza and get it delivered. So we probably need like a mapping system for our drivers, for our delivery drivers, so they know where they're going, so they don't have to memorize themselves. We need, what else do we need? It'd be cool if people could pick their toppings, pick their pizza toppings. Let's see, a pickup place. What else? What else do we need? What else do you guys need to achieve the goal of people needing to be able to order a pizza and get it delivered? To start our own pizza delivery service. Drinks list. People like to order drinks with their pizza. Or at least I do. What else do we need? But we can start here, probably. We can start here. What's the timer on? The timer is on 2 minutes. Okay. Alright, the very first thing we need to start delivering pizzas... I'm going to remove phone number. We need a website. Do we need an order list? Or are we just going to have one pizza for sale? I guess we could just have one pizza, right? If we're truly only trying to get people to order a pizza and get it delivered, the order list, probably second iteration, to be honest. A payment method, we need that. We need to earn money, right? Delivery cyclists, we're going to need those guys. I'm going to just call them delivery drivers instead of cyclists. Delivery drivers. A mapping system for our drivers? Probably not. We could probably save that for the third iteration. Pick their pizza toppings. I don't know, we don't need it right now. A pickup place. Guess we don't need that right now. We're just trying to get pizzas delivered. So we could leave this probably in the third one. And a drinks list. It's not part of ordering a pizza and getting it delivered, so maybe the second iteration? What we're doing here is we're looking at our goal, the goal that we've set together, which is people need to be able to order a pizza and get it delivered. We've done that. We have a website, we have a payment method, and we have delivery drivers. That's all we need. However, if I were to remove this goal, and I would just say we're starting our own pizza delivery service, then we probably would have an order list because we'd have multiple pizzas. We want people to pick their pizza toppings. We want a drinks list. We probably want to be open for pickup. We want to have a mapping system for our drivers so they can easily deliver pizzas. We wouldn't have all of those things. Like, everything is important because we're starting a pizza delivery service. But when we change that and when we add context to what we're trying to achieve, and to translate this into a game dev context, this is about your core loop, right? That's what this is about. This is about prioritizing your core loop, determining what is actually necessary to achieve what you're trying to achieve. This way we can easily see, okay, what is it we absolutely need, right? How can we keep it as simple as possible so we're not... yes, Jago, exactly. Those iteration would nicely support the idea of fill fast, exactly. Because now what we do, we've completed our first iteration, and we've actually learned that 90% of the deliveries are in the same part of town. And that is the timer. 90% of the deliveries are in the same part of town. So do we really need a mapping system? Probably not, right? For those other 10%, the drivers will be okay. We've also learned that people actually only really like one pizza. It's the only pizza we've been offering, but people love that one, and we've asked them, do you want a different kind of pizza? And all of a sudden, no, we need this pizza and this pizza alone. It's lovely, it's amazing, I love it. So do we really need an order list? Probably not. Right? Same goes for pizza toppings. We've just been serving it with basic pizza toppings, whatever that is. Whatever you want to fill that in as. And everyone's been like, oh my god, this is the most amazing pizza I've ever had. Or maybe they've said... what are these pizza toppings? This is so bland. I need more pizza toppings. Which means that for our second iteration, we could put pizza toppings at the front of the list. We could get that in there. But like Jago said, the idea here, and it goes the same for your core loop, the idea here is to prove as quickly as possible what works and what doesn't. But this is, again, a different system, a different perspective of looking at priority. And this one kind of very much aligns with the Moscow method as well. So again, you can really see how plugging your context of your game into these different systems will provide you with different insights on how important certain features are. And that's the whole goal. You need to know inside out what is important in your game, what brings value, what will make your game more amazing. Because that is the only way that you will not waste time on the unimportant, and you will actually end up with a really good experience. And that is what I'm hoping to prove today to all of you. And I think coincidentally that is also the end of the mini class. Let's take a quick break. 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes-ish. So I can take care of the washer and the dryer. Because as I said at the start, I'm responsible for all that today, so I need to get it done. But like everyone, if you want, of course this is optional. If you want, I'm going to put a nice big block down here, colored red, not red, colored green. And we're going to call this questions. And you guys can put your questions in here. I'll put the link to this whiteboard in chat again. Share, copy link. I'll put it in the chat again. There you go. Then we'll go on a quick break right now. And then when I come back and you guys added questions here, we can discuss those questions and we can kind of like see what you're running into with your projects and with the prioritization around them. And we can answer those questions and really put it into context that works for you. I'd love to do that. So far, that concludes the mini class. But yeah, add your questions. And trust me, you probably will have questions. No question is too stupid. Like, there are no stupid questions. Like, literally, there are none. Ask everything, right? Learn as much as possible. Ask everything. All right, I'm going to put some of the beer back screen. 5 minutes, and I'll be back, okay?
Windows calling out your name.
Alright, stop the clock. Stop the clock. Oh. Okay. I think I just set the world record for fastest time to not only switch out everything from the dryer and the washer and whatever, but also to make 3 double beds with new bedding and everything. I am sweaty. I think I just thank you, Jago. I appreciate that. Please call them and let them know that the record has been set, undefeatable. God, okay, all right, but that doesn't matter because we're talking about priority. And I think just now, because what I initially thought I had to do was to just switch out everything in the dryer and washer, but then the plan changed, and I responded to that change. Rather than coming back and updating my plan and having another break 20 minutes from now, I decided to respond to the change, figure out, okay, what's most important? Not angry parents, or coming back perfectly on time to the stream. I figured, okay, not angry parents, probably slightly higher priority. So I decided to make all bets. Anyway, not important at all. Anyway, we have a question. Right. Different recommendations on prioritization models that work well together. Yes, absolutely. If we just take this one out of consideration because it talks about something a little bit different, or not, it's not exactly a model. Because there isn't specifically one that I would recommend in isolation, I would actually say try to do at least 2 out of the 3. 2 out of the 3 that I have here. Mainly because this will give you insight into your ultimate priority for each of the tasks. It'll give you the most insight you probably can have. Which then automatically means that whenever you have a backlog of items, which is not a list, right? Well, visually it is a list, but it is not inherently a list. It's a backlog. It means that whatever is at the top of your backlog is the highest value based on the insights you've gained out of these different systems. So it's a combination of, and I think especially the Kano system together with how easy it is to do, I think those two together make a very strong argument for what is the most valuable and thus what is the most important thing to get done. What will increase the experience so significantly that that your players, your customers, whoever it is, that they have the best experience they can possibly have. That's the idea. Yeah, that's the idea. That's it. That is what I would recommend. So using Kano and how easy it is to do together would probably give you that best insight, because the one thing that the Moscow method has as a drawback is that a lot of people see a lot of things as must-haves. So if you're going to use the Moscow method, which is a perfectly valid method, make sure you combine this with the Kano system. You'll see that a lot of it kind of like aligns with what you decide there as well. But if you, for example, if you put these two against each other, you would have the best information of what you actually need to have and how easy it is to do. You could actually then, based on the Moscow method, right, if you would only talk about must-haves, which aren't necessarily the easiest, right, that's the difference we can see, we could actually say right at the start already, okay, we need to do these 4 things in a day. Do we reckon we can make that? Probably not, because there's a lot of hard things here to do, or a lot of difficult things to do. So we might need 2 days. You can already inform people right from the start, right? So in that sense, the Moscow method gives you a little bit of a different perspective on the context in which you're working. But yeah, the thing to be careful of is that you don't use the Moscow method in isolation, because then a lot of people are going to see a lot of things as must-haves, and then you'll end up in the same position as what we talked about earlier, where everything is high priority, and so nothing is high priority, basically. Bam, light goes on. Light actually adds very little light. Okay. So that's what I would recommend in terms of the question. That's what I would recommend. Yeah. Any other questions? Because obviously there's none on here, which is totally fine. I wasn't expecting there to be hundreds, but any other questions about prioritizing the work in your projects? Or maybe if you want to go a little more broad, any questions about problems you're facing in your current project? Because there's one more thing that we'll talk through in a second, which is prioritization during each phase. But for now, I'm just talking about just the theory around prioritization. And what I'll likely do, I've just decided this impulsively, I'll turn all of this knowledge into a well-crafted video, probably. Because I did this a little bit impulsively, so I kind of jumped all over the place a little bit. But hopefully you guys could still follow it. I'm hoping that's the case. Alright. Okay, we got through the whole mini-class. We took about an hour to do it. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. And we're also not stopping here. I should turn on a new timer, actually, because the washing machine is still on. There's still more to wash. And I'll put one on for an hour. There we go, an hour. Okay, so with that discussed, I hope all of you found this valuable. We're now going to move into... Because, let's quickly wrap this up. So we have the 5 phases, right? Concepting, prototyping, production, polish, and post-release. I think this did explain the process quite well and the reasoning for viewing it from different perspectives. That's great to hear. I'm really glad to hear that. That was definitely the goal. And I know there's definitely things I can do better, like preparation, for example. But yeah, I'm glad that it got the point across. But we have these 5 phases. Now, prioritization works a little bit differently during each phase, but at the same time it doesn't. Ultimately, each phase is about driving value, right? Can I, without breaking this, do this? There we go. Whoa. Always focus on value. That's huge text. There we go. There we go. Throughout every single phase, it's about value. It's just that throughout each phase, the work you're prioritizing, the work that brings value, changes. But the way you look at them and the way you're going to prioritize them should stay the same. Ultimately, every phase, whatever work you think of, whatever work you think needs to happen, needs to go through the Kano system to determine, okay, what are basics, what are performance, and what is excitement. And then through either the Moscow method or through the how easy is it to do method. And based on the information you get out of that, you can ensure, or you can also guarantee yourself that whatever you're working on is the most important thing, the thing that is most valuable. That is the goal. Value over everything. And when we look at how game development works, how much of an iterative flow it is, so you build something, you test something, you build something, you test something, you build something, you test something, right? You keep going through that loop until you have something perfect and you can exit that loop. Value is what makes the difference. Any time you spend on things that bring you less value than based on your backlog is time wasted. Yeah, and I think one of the examples here is an example that a course instructor told me about a few weeks ago. They had a client like 10 years ago that came to them and it said, we have this list of items, there's like 120 items, and we'd like you to work on all of it. We'd like you and your team to work on all of this, right? It all needs to get done. And please deliver me a plan by when it's done. What this person did is they came back and they said, okay, well, look, we'll get it all finished. Can't exactly tell you when. It'll be somewhere next year. Can't exactly tell you. It's a bit hard to say. It's very uncertain. But what are the five most important things for you? And initially, that client was very hesitant. They were like, no. Everything needs to get done. Like we need to do everything. And this guy said, yeah, that's okay. We'll get everything done. I promise. But what are the 5 most important things right now? And so, reluctantly, the client said, okay, it's these 5 things, right? It's this little list of 5 most important. So, the team said, okay, we'll start working on these 5 items. And they worked on them, and they delivered them. And then they said, okay, what is the next 5 items that are most important for you? And again, the client was a little hesitant and was like, no, but look, we need to get everything done. So, it doesn't really matter, just we need to get everything done. Just work on everything. And again, the team said, no, look, listen, we get it. Everything will get done. Don't worry. We'll finish everything. We promise. And we'll do it by sometime next year. We promise. And again, they said, but please tell us, what are the next 5 things that should get done according to you? And so again, reluctantly, the client gave a list of 5 things. And those 5 things got finished. They got delivered. And on and on and on and on and on. Until there were about 86 items left on the backlog. On the list of work that the client had originally given. And so the team delivered more stuff, and they said, it's actually 85 because it's 5 items per thing. And they said, okay, what are the next 5 things that need to be done? What are the 5 next most important things? And the client looked at them and said, actually, I think we're done. And not in a bad way, not as in you're fired. In a way of, we have the product we want. And so the team said, okay, it was great working with you, and they moved on to the next project. So not only did the team not waste any time working on items that are not important or that don't add value, they put the responsibility with the client to say, okay, what is important? And they used the Kano method and the how easy is it to do method to together with the client to determine, okay, what brings most value. And so the client had originally set out to get 120 items done for their product and only ended up walking away with 35-ish. 35. So the client saved tons of money. They had the product that they felt was perfect. And everyone was happy. No time was wasted. No arguments about delivery dates and being late and all that kind of stuff. Instead, a complete and absolute focus on delivering valuable things. And I think, personally, I think that story is beautiful because it perfectly highlights that if you always focus on what is valuable, you'll always end up with the best possible product. Now, there is a slight drawback, especially if you're working alone. It is very easy to get into this loop of confirmation bias where you think something is, for example, an excitement feature, but it's like really easy to do and so it's a must-have or whatever. If you don't test those assumptions with other people, it is easy to get this wrong. That is the case, right? I'm not going to deny that. This is not a perfect system that'll, help you to always do the right thing. It's just not. It's not what it's meant to be either. So make sure that whenever you make assumptions on what you think goes where, test this with other people. That is so important. Even if it's just one other person, even if it's your mom or your dad or a sibling or a friend, doesn't matter who it is. Just test it with someone. Doesn't matter if they have understanding on game development or not. Because most of the time, people that don't have understanding of the game development process, they'll say smart things every here and there. Very insightful things that can help you out. So yeah. So I hope that was clear. I guess that is the end of the mini class. And I hope I answered the question here, down here. Whoever that was, I hope I answered your question. If not, feel free to hit me up. Feel free to just join Discord as well. If you want to just directly talk with me, then we can do that. Alright. Cheers. Lovely. I really enjoy doing that. Because normally I always talk about just actual like raw game development. But this is actually what I do on a daily basis. Because I'm a producer. So I'm currently on 2 large projects that hopefully I can reveal what they are soon. We'll find out. Yeah, doing this with a large team and with like very interesting high-level clients is it is a challenge always, because clients love to pretend that they can get certainty by saying we need to get everything done and we need to get it done by next year March. When that's not the case. Like that, I can't say that. Like I could say right now, okay, here's a plan to get it done by March next year, but if one thing changes, everything after that change is basically invalid, or could be invalid. And so as soon as I tell clients that, they're like, alright, how do we fix that? I'm like, alright, I got a way for you, don't worry. We'll do it together. And they like that, so. But yeah, this is what I do on a daily basis. I do a lot of this, a lot of prioritization, a lot of product-focused management, and a lot of team management is what I do quite a bit. Yeah. Anyway, cool stuff, right? Cool stuff. If there's any questions about this, or anything, any other problems you're running into with your game development journey, let me know. I'd love to help you out. Just put your questions in chat, and then we'll do it that way. For now, though, we are going to open up Unreal Engine, and we're gonna get into some bug fixing and stuff. Yeah, we could actually apply the prioritization system we learned today on our Asana backlog, so we'll do that as well. Dave has bugs. Dave has got lots of bugs. That's not true. We got 1 bug at the moment. UE5, bug fixing, and finishing the core loop. Alright, let me change the name of the stream. I hope everyone found that fun. I know I did. I know I really enjoyed that. There we go. Lovely. I hope everyone found that fun. Okay, let's not do that. There we go. And then we're gonna press the button down here. I still don't have my motherboard, by the way. They said, the shop said that it's coming tomorrow. And I hope that's true. I do really hope so. Because I really want to put together my new PC. That's really good to hear, Jug. I'm glad to hear that. I really want to put together my new PC. It has a 3080 Ti, DDR5 RAM, 32 gigs. It has a Intel i9 12900 something K, which is the well, I guess the last gen. The 13th gen just came out, so it's the last gen. Last gen CPU. It has an MSI Pro Z690 motherboard. Well, at least I hope so, if I ever would fucking get it. And beyond that, it's like 1 terabyte of storage right now, but I'm gonna take 1 SSD stick out of this one and put it in a new one. Yeah, and I think that's it. I think that's all I've bought. And obviously a PSU and stuff like that, but nothing else major. All right, so if we want to apply what we've just done, then this, well, so this is a bug which follows a bit different rules, but in essence, it is in terms of Kano, it's not essential, it's performance, right? If it's not there, it's a little bit frustrating, but it's not the worst experience ever. In terms of how easy is it to do, how easy? Like a medium, right? That's kind of the guess right now. And I'm only doing it in the description here because adding extra custom fields to Asana costs money, so let's not do that. If I just copy this over, add a speech bubble above the AI's head to convey what they're doing. This is luxury. Not luxury, this is excitement, sorry. Excitement. How easy is it to do? Probably also medium. I reckon it's pretty medium to do this. Create an outline effect on the trap to show which effect is affecting it. Jesus, that was a sentence. I think in terms of Kano, this is probably performance. In terms of how easy, I think this is hard. This is hard to do. Create VFX effects that showcase what is happening. Okay, just checking that the dog was barking at something good rather than bad. Okay, dog is fine. Alright. Then for create VFX to showcase what is happening, I think this is an excitement feature. How easy is it to do? It's pretty easy to do. It's relatively easy to do. I still need to finish off the VFX course that I started. I'll do that probably tonight or tomorrow. Maybe not finish it entirely, but I'll get pretty far. All right. So based on that, oh, and this one, of course, this one is essential. Just Kano, it's essential. Without this, it's gonna be a really bad experience. How easy? It's pretty easy. Pretty easy to do. As for the estimate, that is also not entirely unimportant. Estimate. If we follow t-shirt sizing, estimating, we'll probably do estimations in like the next mini class, because that's also a good topic to talk about. So we'll probably talk about that in the next mini class. Because you have relative estimations versus absolute estimations, and you have different estimation methods. You've got story points, you've got t-shirt sizing, you've got the Lego bricks that Loggerhead was talking about earlier today. And there's a bunch of other ones. There's also the dog breed one, which is interesting, so there's lots of cool ways to do that. But the estimate for this is probably a medium in terms of t-shirt size compared to some of these other ones. But let's fix this bug, and let's take this out of progress for now. Alright. Because what was happening yesterday... Was this yesterday? No, Friday probably. Alright, Dave. Let us see you doing things. Alright, we stop it. And then Dave's going to step in here. And then we're going to do that. Okay, so we do need to... And I think that is what's going wrong. I think we're never stopping... we're probably never stopping this timeline. I think. Oh, shit. This one. We are probably... Yeah, we're only stopping this once... Why is this so organized in such a confusing way? There we go. It's much better. There we go. So this does need to stop as well. This needs to stop earlier, actually. This needs to stop. This needs to stop when this one is true. AI can continue path. Can I also open up the... I can't open them up both at the same time, apparently. No. Okay. So we'll probably have to make a... So we'll remove this. Instead we'll make a custom event called stop flamethrower progress bars from charging. Whoa. Stop flamethrower progress bars. Stop. And then we need another custom event called restart flamethrower progress bars. There. And then you probably want to put this inside of AI can continue path. Whenever this is called, we want to say stop flamethrower progress bars. And then when we put this in AI must wait, we can say restart flamethrower progress bars. There we go. Let's see if that works, shall we? Because this needs to work for it to give the right information to the players. There we go. We're charging, and we're stopping a charge. And then when I let go of that, perfect. Now does it reset? It doesn't seem to quite reset. But that is probably, to be entirely honest, that is probably because Dave dies from a different trap. That is why. So instead what we can do, we can do this part when Dave exits the moving platform collision, which is somewhere, which is probably inside of here. Yes, this one. Not this one, sorry. Down here. Yes. This is the one. Here we go. Here, but also, actually in two places. We still need to leave it in its original place as well, in case Dave still dies from the trap itself. So if we now test two different scenarios. The first scenario is Dave just dying from waiting too long. Okay. There we go. It's charging. And it's so brutal. It's so brutal. Alright. Like that. But that perfectly resets. That's great. Oh, it doesn't reset in that way, though. That is interesting. Come on. Nice. We just made that. There we go. Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, it's beginning to look like gameplay, right? I know. It's great. Okay, so this almost works. Except this happens. And I know why. Because the initial one should be played from start. That's why. Yeah. This will fix it. We're getting better and better with everything. It's really nice to see the learning progress we're doing. Or that I'm doing, but, you know. Hopefully you guys can pick up anything from this as well. Alright. So we're just gonna let Dave die. Sorry, Dave. So brutal. So brutal. I love it. Alright. Like that. And then when Dave enters it again, it does it perfectly. Perfectly. Oh, I stopped it at the wrong moment. I should have just let it swing. Okay. Interesting. Interesting stuff. The ice on still waits a little long there, but it's okay. It's probably because it's waiting on some of the other tasks. Ooh, there we go. That was pretty easy. Ooh, that was close. Okay. Shit. Oh, that was close. That was close. All right. This is awesome so far. This is really cool. All right, now we just need to actually do the rest of the logic, but okay. Okay, this seems to work so far, so that's another bug fixed. We need to prioritize this list in terms of what is most important. Yeah, I wish I could add custom fields and stuff, but I'm not looking forward to the €10.99 build annually upgrade price. That's not what I want. I like the simplicity. I know I could use Trello or something of the kind, but I don't know. I started using this and sunken cost fallacy and all that stuff. Okay, all right. What is most important? This one is by far most important. It adds the most value to the prototype we're making. Then, oh god. There's actually one thing I want to try. Purely because I'd like to learn it. I might be going a little too far ahead here, because I might learn this during the course, but I want to try this. I want to try this together with you guys. I want to try this. Let's grab an Niagara system, and we'll make it a dynamic beam. Finish, and we'll call this NS slow down beam. Because what I want basically, I want a beam that goes from the player's left hand and attaches to the track to kind of indicate like, hey, you know, we're slowing this thing down. Okay, so what we need right now, this beam is kind of just active, and it goes from a point to another point. Spline position. This is a little error factor which fixes from the beam tangent. Okay. Beam width. Right. Oh, okay. It kind of goes on a curve. I can kind of like adjust this and kind of like change how I think it should work. Like that, for example. Interesting. Let's put that back where it was. Twist amount. Let's see what happens if we do 100. It doesn't seem to change very much. Let's do 1,000. Oh, I think it's like rotating almost. But I know that there is let's make sure we actually do something. Hold on. Let's put back to 0. I know that there is a way to make this go from one position to the next, kind of like an attaching beam almost. But I might just have to learn this separately then, because else I'm gonna be looking specifically for this, and might be a little too hard at the moment. Okay, all right, that's not a problem. Let's make sure we comment this. Timeline for progressing the progress bars on the flamethrower traps. There we go. Okay, so let's put that back into the backlog. We'll put it here and put this one in progress, because this actually has a few tasks. Fix the level progression system to allow Dave to progress to the next area. There's that. Create 2 extra rooms that Dave has to go through. Yeah. 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 That's basically it. That's actually all we have to do. So what I'd like to do, because this is a pretty hard section, what I'd like to do is I like to make 2 sections before this, probably. Yeah. At least 1 section before this, and maybe then another section after it. That's maybe even harder. That we could then combine and stuff like that. Okay, and in order to do that, we need to do a few things. We can grab this, and we can grab that, and that, and this one, and this one. And then this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Not that one. And this one. And then this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, this one, this one, this one, that one, and that one. There we go. Okay, then we probably want to drag this out. Okay. Okay, almost there. Okay. And then we can actually say, we can actually remove one of these walls. There we go. That way we... Cool, what text came in on our way home? Has a picture attached to it. Okay. Thanks, mother. Okay. Alright. See you soon. They love Christmas. I love Christmas. I love Christmas a lot. And they love Christmas a lot. Because Christmas is the greatest holiday in the world. That is a fact. No one could tell me otherwise. If you celebrate Christmas the way I do, Christmas is the best ever. Alright. Thanks for sending me lots of stickers. Let me send a sticker back. Alright, excellent. Sorry. I should change the stream title towards texting my mom. That'll take IRL streams to a whole new level. Alright, there we go. And then just to make this a little easier, I should have done this earlier, but we can still do it now. It's still relatively easy. We can probably agree to disagree. Summer is the best. Well, you know, summer is great. Summer is great, but I mean, if Christmas was in the summer, then you know, then both our statements can be true. But ultimately, Christmas is the best, and I will not be told otherwise. Alright, I said... Oh, I fucking placed these on the wrong side. Ah, damn it. It's okay, we can fix it. We can fix it. We can move these guys back here. Like that. Is that solid? Yeah, that's solid. Great. And then we just gotta grab all of these. There we go. And then this one. Actually, yeah. Okay, and then actually all of these side walls. Shit. And then all of these ones. And then these ones. There we go. I think I've got everything now. There we go. Christmas in the Southern Hemisphere isn't from Tetras or Christmas on the beach. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I have a friend in Australia, and she loves to tease me about that. She loves to send me a picture each year and be like, haha, it's Christmas time, and then like it shows her on the beach, and I'm like, you heathen. How dare you? Where's the Christmas tree? And then she's like, no, there is no Christmas tree. She has it bad without a Christmas tree. Alright, this is perfectly fine. Alright. We've got Dave doing Dave things. Now, the only thing we need is to move this by one more. There we go. Is to grab the nav mesh, like this. Oh, there's something I've actually completely forgotten, to be fair. I've actually seriously forgotten about this. There is a game I'm supposed to play today from someone who asked for some feedback, and I haven't done that yet. So let's do that. How much time is left on the timer? Oh shit. Yes, I can. Anything specific? Okay, alright. Okay, let's prioritize. In terms of stream related things. There we go. That is enough mesh done. Okay, so I said I was gonna give this person feedback, so I will. Where is it? Here it is. Demos. Let's close Unreal for a second, just so I can not affect the performance too much. Alright, let me ping this person. Playing your game right now. Over here. Where's my link to my stream? There we go. Just checking that the stream still works, because Twitch sometimes gives like a error saying like it can't preload or something, and I'm just like, all right, that's cool. So we've got Morla Coriat Alpha, the final chronicle of the House of Plifk, is an upcoming story-based Japanese style RPG whose gameplay involves turn-based combat, obscure puzzles hidden throughout the world, and a storyline detailing a band of heroes on a quest for the sacred relic known as the Morla Coriat of Threm, which is done long ago by the treacherous sword of Regifold Plifk. First 2 dungeons. Okay, let's give this a shot. Windows. Let's give this a shot. Let's extract this. Browse. Game demos. Morla Quariat. Okay, select folder. Extract. Okay, lots to extract. Very cool. What I'll also do is just take this whiteboard, because it deletes itself at some point. So I'll put this inside of the Game Best Topics Discord. Here is the whiteboard that we used during the mini class today. And I'll just make a quick screenshot. Yeah. Which you won't be able to read much from, but, you know, should give a little bit of insight into everything we did. Mini class. You know, in what other topics you'd like me to cover? There we go. Okay. Alright. All that's figured out now. Yeah, exactly. I'll make a video about this as well, but you know, for now, this is probably better. This is okay for now. Alright, more liquariat. Run anyway. Remember, allow. And let's pause the music for a second. It's good music, but did it just break down? Because my antivirus, yeah, my antivirus was like, oh, okay. Incredibly professional title screen. Okay, let's leave this not expanded, because, yeah, the game cannot handle that. Oh, shit. Hang on. Let me close it and reopen it. There we go. Alright, save file 0. New. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I really, if I put it on big, oh, we get that. Interesting. What is this place? I don't know where I am or how I got here. This is how stories always tend to start, isn't it? This is great. Can see it somewhat, yeah. I can't increase in size, I wish I could. Now all I need is a quest to go on. Move with arrow keys or WSD, press it to inspect things. Oh, okay. It's, okay. It's tile-based movement. In fact, moment, nothing for sport. This column has succumbed to the forces of time and decay, but not yet gravity. Okay. Something is written here in unsteady handwriting. Please, blessed light, we suffer. False blade does not protect us. Okay. Okay. What is down here? Okay, that did nothing. Okay. Someone comes out to challenge me on my quest. Wait, no, those are giant mushrooms. No matter, I shall taste my blade. To attack, press spacebar, or else click the attack button and choose a target. Each time you attack, you commit points of movement to the attack. This expands your movement but makes your attack stronger. Okay. Oh, here we go. These images look significantly more lively than the ones in the previous room. I like the little text effect. This might hurt. You can move number of spaces equal to your speed and take up to one action in any order. Actions include attacking, using throwing items, equipping weapons, and using spirit techniques. To end your turn, when you still have an action or movement left, click end turn or press tab. Oh, that's all the thing I have, okay. Spirit. I don't need to do anything there. I don't have an item. Look. Lesser wood white. Health 30, attack 5, speed 30, range 1. Okay. Tab. Okay, now I can attack. Bonk. End turn. Ah, that hit me again. Okay, the ending turn bit is a little wacky. Ow. Well, it happens very quickly. Which means I don't really... I'm not getting enough feedback that it's my turn again. Like, the button up here is too subtle. That's kind of nice. That's kind of cool. What happens when I click it? Nothing. Okay. It looks clickable, but apparently it's not. Oh, it's, oh, okay. Press button to open door. Okay. Not sure who this guy was, but we buried him anyway. This is decorated with carvings of rays with light and people with feathered wings. Okay, I'm gonna not bother with that yet. Oh, hang on, what's this down here? Counterweight. Heavy and button shaped. Huh. Can I... Oh, take. Right, okay. Item. Drop. Okay. Interesting. So functionality-wise, this is really working. Hello, welcome to the Jarek Oaksmith Memorial History Museum. What brings you here today, Miss, or Mr.? Sorry, but are you a lady or a gentleman? Yes, no, I don't remember. Telling you that would ruin the mystery. These are all wrong answers. Yes. Okay, but which, you know, never mind. Nice, that's a nice way to be inclusive. The movement was a bit unexpected. Yeah, true. What? Yeah, it is good. Okay. It is going. It's all good. Don't worry. Infinite texts. Old people, always on their phone. The oldies nowadays. Anyway, moving on. What brings you here today? I am a wandering hero, like those of legend, and I seek a fitting quest to devote myself to. Huh, you don't look like you're with the House of Plufk, and you sure don't talk like them either. Good luck making this hero thing work out, but if you're saying you want to join the Knights of Threm, that won't work. They really aren't what they used to be. Why? What happened to them? Not from around here, are you then? It's been centuries since the House of Plufk took over the Knights. When Ayanuri first founded the Knights, everyone thought that our problems with whites were finally over. That we could finally have peace. People called it the Bright Age. But in the decades after Ayanuri died, nobody else could keep the Knights together. They turned to infighting instead of protecting the people, and eventually that usurper Regival Plufk came out on top. They say the Knights used to have supernatural powers from the blessed light of Iralu, fueled by their desire for compassion and justice, but when things started to go downhill, they started losing them. Well, everyone except for Plufk did. Which is why they allowed him to take up the Molochorite of Threm, the symbol of Ayanuri's legacy, and so his descendants have been in charge ever since. Now, speaking of Molochorites, there's an exhibit for the museum that I've long been wishing I could have, which... So what you're saying is that I need to go take back the Molochorite from the House of Plufk so that you can put it in your museum. I mean, it's not exactly what I was... Looks like that's my quest. Wish me luck. I'll be right back. Nice. Okay. So it's a JRPG with an attitude. Which is nice. Nothing wrong with that. So I think the movement is definitely too snappy. I get it's tile-based, but there's probably smoother ways of handling this. The inscription on the fountain. Rest, traveler, and restore your body and soul. Rest by the fountain. Yes. Okay. Still can't pass here, though, so we'll see where that goes. Whoa. Hello. Humorous dialogue about the snake being wedged stuck in the door. Okay. Alright, fair enough. Now the question is, where do I go? Oh hey, there's something here. What's this cool thing? There's something shining in the box. Take it? Yes. You found a scavenger's ring. Item. Scavenger's ring. Gold ring with moss and mushrooms growing on it. On a fully committed attack, restores health equal to 40% of damage dealt. That's cool. Can we put this in somewhere? Equip. Yes, we can. Oh, wait, we have a green key. Oh, wait, hang on. We can open up the gate. Meow. Speed. And then item... Use. The green gate is locked. Use the green key? Yes. Gate swings open. Perfect. Oh. How do we do that? Power of the human spirit can cross any chasm from the wanderings of Yim half line. Oh, I know exactly what we need to do. Which is kind of cool that I already know this, but I only knew this because of frequent clicking around, so not every player will figure this out. This will need some kind of onboarding. Item, this one, drop. Spirit, dash, this one. But it is a nice puzzle. It's definitely a nice puzzle. It's definitely cool. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, enter. Ow. Attack. This guy. Full attack. Owie. That hurts. Attack. This guy. Half an attack. And then... Dash dash. Attack. This guy. Full attack. End my turn. Attack. This guy. Half an attack. Bam bam. Attack this guy, full attack. Attack this guy, half an attack. Bam, bam, bam. And then attack this guy, full attack. And attack that guy, full attack. Cool. Okay. Oh, there's more. Could I dash? Oh, I can-ish. I guess not. Damn it. Okay, let's full attack this guy. And turn. We can full attack this guy. And turn. So this becomes a little... I know it's a JRPG, but this becomes a little tedious. Especially because I would kind of expect this to be a little more fluent. Right now it's not. There's an inscription on the fountain. Rest, traveler, and restore your body and soul. Yes, please. Very cool. This creature seems different from the other ones I've fought. Should get a closer look at it. Look. This guy. Cobble White. Health 50, attack 40. Wow, that's a lot of attack. Okay. Ouch. That hurts. Do I want to dash away if I can? Spirit, dash. Oh, I can't. Ouch. That hurts. Yeah, I'm gonna die on this one. Yeah, it really does. It really does. The cheats. The fighting has control elements and information elements in so many locations. Yeah, that's definitely true. And I don't think you necessarily want this right now. I also haven't really seen a reason to do full or half attacks or anything of the kind, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna die from this easily. I need to basically not let him get closer to me. Or at least I need to be able to do the first attack. Oh! That's some quick counter reaction. This one. I might be able to do it now, yeah. Okay. Coin. Take. Yeah, it does put a lot of the UI elements in a lot of, like, locations. Which is definitely interesting. Yes, rest by the fountain. Okay, I don't hate it. I actually think it has some nice bit of dialogue. And I think actually, even though the story seems a little complex right from the get-go, I think it has merit, which is good. Attacks left click bottom for attack, next click in middle to select enemy, next click in bottom left for attack strength. Also, yeah, exactly, yeah. I think what Jago's calling out in the chat here is an excellent point. There's way too much interaction going on. Ultimately, and there are some things I can do. I can't just do spacebar, but then I attack the wrong way, or I attack the wrong direction, which feels very frustrating. So I can't actually use that to navigate all of this easier, which takes quite a bit of the interest away. Not interest, sorry, but takes quite a bit of the enjoyment away. Yeah, it's too interaction heavy is the problem. Oh, I can't do that because I've done that. Yeah. Bonk. This one. Ouch. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Yeah. Beyond that. Ah, I've done a... For some reason... Why should I be able to do a 0 attack? Oh, I'm doing complete zeros anyway. Ouch. Okay. Interesting. I think, towards the developer, I think the main piece of feedback... let me turn on the music again. Oh, I don't have the link open anymore. Okay, that's the fold up towels ones. I think the most important feedback here, and I'll put this in the Discord that I was asked in. Let me respond to this one. There is a lot of mouse navigation required to interact with each of the different elements. But your game has merit. Dialogue feels pretty snappy, and is fun to read. Make sure to keep the dialogue as short as possible in all cases. We don't want the player to be idling too much. The movement feels very snappy, perhaps a little too much. You might want to look into a little bit of interpolation for the movement. There we go. I think that's the main feedback. I think that's probably the most important stuff that we can really mention. Okay, alright, I'm gonna click a button here on this one. There we go. Mainly because plans change, and the text I just got means I need to now do something else. So, what I mainly want to say is just thank you to everyone that was watching. You're all awesome. I hope you enjoyed the mini class. I hope to do more of them in the future. One about estimation, but maybe some other topics that you might want me to, you might want me to discuss. Feel free to put it in chat now, or otherwise, feel free to join the Discord. And then you can just directly tag me, DM me, and we can talk about it. If you're facing any particular problems, same thing. Join the Discord. Let's chat about it. Beyond that, thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to Chad and Amin for the follow. I really appreciate that. And I hope to see you all soon again. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.